How's it going today, guys? Today, I'm finally going to be reviewing my Tanacom 1200 size reel. This is my first electric reel. I'm excited to tell you guys what my experience is on this reel and how I feel about this reel. So that being said, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so let's get there. Smash that subscribe button for me. And if you haven't hit the like button on this video yet, be sure and do so. It helps me get this video out to more people. And with that being said, let's start the review. So the first thing I want to talk about as we start this review is the weight of this reel. So it was a little bit different for me because this is the first electric reel I've ever bought and owned. And it's a heavy reel. It weighs 6 pounds, even though they say it's an aluminum body and it makes it lighter. I'm sure it makes it more durable and stronger. However, it is a heavy reel. It's not a reel you're going to be sitting like this and reeling in your hands all day. It's a heavy reel. So don't expect that out of this reel. However, you know, it is a great reel. It's heavy and it's something you can put in a rod holder, and it's hooked up to electric, so you're not really going to be reeling. You don't really want to reel because I believe when you turn this handle, it's only getting like 26 inches per turn. That's not really something you want, versus where you're supposed to get up to about around 140 meters per minute when it's in full speed in electric mode. So that comes out to per second. That's about, like 6-7 feet of line that you're getting back on the reel every second, according to Daiwa's website. So that's quite a bit of line to get back on the reel, and that's definitely why you want to use it as it should be used, because it's an electric reel. It's an expensive reel, and that's why you're getting an electric reel, so you don't have to do the work. Anyways, you're basically going to be putting this in a rod holder to use it. You're going to be picking up a little bit, maybe to drop a line or so. Or like for me, because I'm using this for kite fishing, as you can tell, I have a kite fishing rod set up on this. When I'm setting out the kite, I might be holding the rod to set out the kite. That's really the only time you're holding it. Other than that, it's in a rod holder. I do have it hooked up to power on the boat to an outlet, and I also went ahead and tested out the Abyss battery. We're going to be doing a review video on the Abyss battery for these electric reels, for how I feel they perform and whether or not I think it's worth buying, because it definitely wasn't cheap. It is a lithium-ion battery, that's why the price is up. But I'm going to tell you guys how I feel about it and whether or not I think it's something worth getting. So with that being said, that brings us to our next point, which is also one of the specs, is the line capacity on this. When Daiwa does their line capacity, keep in mind they use their J braid, and their J braid is very good quality. It's very thin and very strong. Now, I didn't put a J braid on this because it's not really exactly what I needed for this reel, because I was using it for kite fishing. I put 80-pound braid on here. However, they claim 80-pound braid, 1,100 yards of line. I was well short of that. I think this guy at the tackle shop, I made him put it on for me just because I've never put line on an electric reel before. However, I think it was only around like 750 instead of 1,100 yards. So if you plan to use this rod for sword fishing, definitely use J braid. Don't use another brand. Use J braid only. Just because it's going to be closer to Daiwa's exact specs. Now, when you're putting this much braid on a reel, it's also going to depend on how tight you pack the reel and all that. So just keep that in mind when filling the reel. I do think you could have put a little bit more line on this reel, but that's okay, because I'm really just using it for kite fishing and maybe some deep drop later in the future. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you're going to do some sword fishing, use J braid on it. That's my advice. Puts out 50 pounds of drag, so if you're using it for deep drop fishing, reeling up a big grouper or something from the bottom, a nice snapper, it's definitely got the drag to do the job. It's got the drag for swordfish. 50 pounds of drag is a lot. Now, one thing I have learned with electric reels, because I've used some on some buddies' boats and stuff like that, the more you pay for the reels and electric reels, the better. It's not so much like, with typical conventional or spinning reels that, there's some brands that have a better series and that beats the other, and it might be a little bit more pricey or whatever. But with electric reels, from everything that I've seen, and I've seen a handful of them and used a handful of them, is that the more you pay for these reels, the better quality are. So really set your budget and see what you can get within your budget. Daiwa makes a great reel right here, right in my hands, the Tanacom. You know, it's, you know, for the price point, it's a great reel to start out into an electric reel, but you know, it definitely doesn't compare to like a hooker electric reel or an LP. It's far from it, but it's still great. It's a great reel for the price, especially if you're first trying to get into your first electric reel, you know, do some deep dropping or some kite fishing. It's a great reel. I don't want to say economical, but it's more or less economical compared to other reels. So that's one thing I want to point out about this. I do want to talk about the settings a little bit. It is a little bit tricky. Expect some videos in the future about like how to set it all up and all that. So be sure and subscribe for that way you don't miss that video. However, at first it was really complex to figure this out. However, after watching a few videos online and, you know, reading some articles and stuff like that, once I learned to do a couple features, was basically, I believe, like retrieve and setting the line counter depth, like when you want to stop. Once I figured that out, I was able to figure out the jigging feature on this and all that. The rest was way easier to figure out on this reel. Once you break into it, not literally, but like break into like learning and start to learn just a couple of the basic features. Once you learn that, because it's a system that you kind of got to learn. Once you learn that, the rest of the features are really easy to figure out. And it's got some really unique features on it that you could use. One thing that I haven't used yet, but I'm kind of itching to get an opportunity to use, is that jigging feature, where you can basically make it jig at a depth automatically of your choice. I haven't tried that yet, but it seems pretty interesting. And if you have tried it, let me know how you like it down below in the comments. With that being said, guys, thanks for watching today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. You know, we can't really talk like on this reel like we do a traditional conventional or spinning reel, because like I said, the more you spin on an electric reel, the better it's going to be, is from what I've noticed. However, it's not that light, it's heavy. The line capacity on it, you know, just keep that in mind if you're planning to use it for sword fishing. Use J-braid. It's got a great drag. It's a good quality reel. It is very smooth, I do have to say. It's got a smooth retrieve. It's got a smooth output of when you put in the free spool. The line goes out pretty smoothly. You know, it's a really smooth reel. The line counter seems to be pretty accurate. It's a great all-around reel, especially, you know, if you're breaking into the market of electric reels, or you want a good quality electric reel, you know, for a good price. This is definitely the best bang for the buck electric reel on the market. And that being said, thanks for watching today's video, guys, and until next time.